It's Friday Night Live with Vince, pregame, postgame show. Your destination for top high school previews and wrap-ups with Vince and his team. Buckle up and hang on for Friday Night Live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Friday Night Live, presented by the Varsity Sports Show team. My name is Vince D'Alicio, and joined, as always, by two of our amazing, talented team members here, Mr. Braden Goetz from Tucson, Arizona, the University of Arizona, and Nick Hill from Arizona State University. Braden, Nick, how's it going?
Doing good, Vince. How are you doing?
I probably should have asked each of you separately, but that's okay. We got a lot going on, and yeah. You guys have been flying fast and furious. Braden, you had a big game this week, baseball game down in Tucson, Desert View. Nick's been out there working and handling some lacrosse action. So we'll hear more about that stuff as the show goes on. But first and foremost, I wanted to bring on a very special guest of ours. He just won a national championship, first ever for the school. His name is Coach Todd Holthaus out of Pima College, the Aztecs. Coach Holthaus, congratulations. How are you, sir?
I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Yes. I can't hear you, but I did hear the introduction, so I'm happy to be here with you guys. It's been a crazy week for sure.
Awesome. Coach, tell us about the run.
Lost my audio.
Coach, talk to us about the championship run this season. 1 year removed from a finals appearance and came back with a vengeance this season. Take us through the season. I don't know if he can hear us here.
I lost my ability to hear you guys.
Oh, boy. Okay, well, let me maybe Marla, if you can type into the chat there for Coach and have him talk about the championship run.
What kind of?
Go. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, we'll get Coach back on here shortly, but it's exciting. Here he is. Coach, can you hear us?
I can hear you this time. Can
Okay,
you guys hear me?
Okay, yes, we can. So
Okay.
you're 1 year removed from a finals appearance. You came back this season with a vengeance and first 30-win season in program history, 429 wins in your 19 seasons as a head coach there at Pima Aztecs. And so talk about this season.
Well, it's probably all because you guys came down and did a game for us. That was probably the extra kicker we needed. So it's been a lot of fun, to be honest with you. And you know, coaches get a lot of credit, but the reality is the kids are the ones who do all the work. And we had a group of sophomores that had that bitter taste of finishing second last year. And I think that was kind of our fuel throughout the course of the season. And so when the time came to go back to nationals, they kind of stepped it up a little bit. And our two leaders, Melissa and Kylie, kind of led the way because they were they played the most minutes last year when we were down there. And they really felt the sting last year when we lost. But I was just real proud of the way they approached it because when there were critical moments in each game, they were the ones who stepped up and finished the deal. So I'm just happy. Like it's been a crazy week, and it'll keep sinking in, I'm sure. But it's been so worth it, and it's something that no one can ever take away from you. So we'll take it.
Coach, the last game that you lost was January 7th. What was the turning point, that kind of the aha moment that said, you know what, we have something special here and we're going to make a run?
Well, I think the biggest thing was, and you've watched enough of these games, we lost to Mesa at home. And for our freshmen, that was our first game against Mesa. And we try to tell them and prepare them that, Mesa Pima rivalry is something that goes back 18 years between Corey and I, and those games are huge. That's kind of like the barometer of how good you are. And we got smacked at home, and it was kind of the first reality check for our kids. And so I remember practice the next day. It was kind of a gut check, and we wanted to decide how bad do we want this thing. And so if we're really committed to making a run at a national championship or even at just a region championship, we have to buckle down. And I think we kind of started finding our identity. People started sliding into their roles, played a little bit harder, and it just kind of steamrolled. I mean, not many teams can say they finished the year on an 18-game winning streak and win a national championship. So, as coaches, you want to get better throughout the season. And I think it takes a little while in junior college because you basically swap out half your team every year. So as much as you'd like the chemistry to be consistent, it takes a little while each year. And I think we just kind of hit our stride at the beginning of January. And then people started getting comfortable. Expectations were known, and they stepped up. And I'm just real proud of them.
Coach, final question here. With the turnover so high, basically it's a 1 to 2 year stop off for team members before they move on to the next, heaven willing, to the next level. How do you maintain that high level year in and year out and can still put such a product on the court?
Well, I think a lot of it goes to, we've kind of established our identity in terms of what works at our level, and then going out and recruiting the right kids. It takes work and it takes a lot of studying in terms of the types of kids we need, knowing what roles we need to fill each year. And then obviously when you get them in the gym, you have an idea of what you want to do, but then being able to adjust to the strengths of the kid, because you don't have 4 years to develop. You only get them for 2 years. And so the key is you want to make them better, but you also want to be able to use the skill set that they bring. And so just putting the pieces together each year with the same philosophy, we have the basic same philosophy, but then using the strengths of the kids that we have each year is probably the biggest key.
Awesome. Coach Todd Holthouse out at Pima College in Tucson, Arizona, winning the program's first ever national championship, 30-4 on the season. Coach, congratulations. Thanks again for joining us. And we look forward to getting back down there and getting some games for you next season.
Well, I appreciate that. You guys do such an awesome job. And it's cool for me, like I told you when you were down here, it's cool to see all those young wannabe reporters, and it's just cool. So anytime you guys want to come down, Pima's always welcome to have you.
Great. Thanks again, Coach.
All right. You guys take care.
You too. All right. Next up, we are going to turn it over to Braden Goetz. Take it away, Braden.
I gotta say, there must be something in the water for the basketball players out in Tucson, but up the road in Tempe, the other Braden Solomon, he's going to tell us about ASU's Pro Day.
Yeah. Hey, Braden, how's it going?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. So I was at ASU's Pro Day today. So a quick, not refresh, but quick knowledge on it. Pro Day is basically the NFL Combine, but for each selective college team, so that players who are not invited to the Combine can participate in front of scouts. There was 31 of the 32 scouts today, which actually was very big for the team because Sunday there will be the owners team meeting, so there was a ton of scouts and whatnot. Huge thing, head coach Mike Vrabel was there, Kevin Stefanski for the Falcons, John Harbaugh, as well as Joe Sheen, who are with the New York Giants, and Ryan Poles, the GM of the Bears, and Matt Ryan, who is the president of football operations for the Falcons. Overall, it was a great event. There was 21 total people that could have participated. 20 did. The only one who sat out was Jordan Tyson, who everyone knows, the star receiver. He will be having a private workout on April 17th for just scouts, but which is actually a week before the draft starts. And also, which was really cool to see, Max Hennichor, the offensive tackle for the Sun Devils, he worked with Mike Vrabel in one-on-one drills during their positional workouts. So it was really cool to see a great coach who obviously won Coach of the Year being able to get involved with these college guys, kind of understand who they are as a player, but also who they are as a person. So that was definitely something really cool to see.
Nice. Do you know who that 32nd coach was, or 32nd team that wasn't there?
I do not. From what I saw, I know there was a lot of tweets throughout the entire event, but from what I saw, I do not know who that 32nd team was.
All right. Well, I'll say 31. Still pretty impressive. Thanks for your time, Braden.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to pass it back out to Nick now. Almost. Maybe.
Oh,
There he is.
there we go. All right, yeah, thanks, Braden. Next up, we've got Cole Brunt from the University of Arizona. He's going to be talking about the NHL playoff push at the standings. How you doing, Cole?
Good. How are you, Nick?
I'm good, man.
Got a lot of information here for you. So the last games for NHL are on April 16th. So we got, just a little under a month left of the regular season. As of right now, there is only 4 teams in all of the NHL that are under 500. And in the Eastern Conference, only the Rangers are under 500. The whole rest of the conference is above 500, which I found was pretty impressive. But as for the standings right now, the top 8 teams in each conference, we got for the Eastern Conference, we got the Hurricanes, and then the Sabres, and then the Lightning, the Canadiens, the Bruins, the Penguins, the Blue Jackets, and the Islanders. And then the Western Conference, we have the Avalanche, the Stars, the Wild, the Ducks, the Oilers, the Mammoth, the Knights, and the Predators. A couple things I like to highlight here. We got some, like the Sabres are the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference, which I think is, in years past, they kind of been, subpar for sure. But, and like with the Vegas Knights, they are in 7th place in the Western Conference, which usually they're one of the top seeds. But I think we're going to have a very intriguing playoffs this year for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So for like the Stanley Cup, do you think like we're gonna have like the juggernaut teams, or do you think like someone might sneak in there like unexpected that no one's
Yeah, for sure. Seeing the Sabres there sitting at the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference, I am kind of liking that. I'm kind of obviously the last 2 years it's been the Panthers and the Oilers, and fans, you never, as a fan, you never want to see the same 2 teams keep going at it. So it's always good to get some fresh teams in there for sure.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. That was Cole Brunt from the University of Arizona. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on over back to Braden.
It's okay. Some people think we're twins. We're going to pass it over to Ethan Kinney, talking about March Madness run. We're in Sweet 16 right now. Ethan, what we got?
Yeah, what's up, Braden? How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm good. So, Sweet 16 and March Madness wrapped up today. We finally know the final 8 teams that are, making a bid at the national championship. I know University of Arizona is one of them. They've been having a great season, as well as Michigan. We got Illinois, UConn, Tennessee, Iowa, and one other team that I'm missing. But, there's a lot of exciting games, a lot of games that kind of went down to the last couple possessions. I know a few good ones was Duke versus St. John's. Duke, that was the team I was missing. Duke, St. John's. St. John's had a chance to tie the game, with about 3 seconds left, missed the 3. Michigan State, UConn, that was a 4-point game. There was a few blowouts too. I know Arizona handled business against Arkansas. That game wasn't exactly close, but it's been an entertaining tournament. Hasn't gone the way I think a lot of people have predicted, but it's been good.
That's March Madness,
Yeah.
Who surprised you the most this year?
Surprised me? It's hard not to say like Iowa. With their run going to the Elite Eight, but honestly, on the reverse side, I picked Florida to be my national champion, so I was very surprised at their early exit. I think more than anything else in the tournament, I really thought that their roster was primed for a back-to-back.
Yeah, especially after that blowout in the first round.
Yeah, they won by like 70.
Dangerous, so that was surprising for sure.
Yeah.
But thanks for your time, Ethan.
Thank you.
Thanks for keeping us updated, and we're going to pass it back out to Nick.
Yeah. Next up, we got Thomas Gobo from UNLV. He's got a pre-recorded segment for us on the NBA and MVP race.
Regular season winding down and the playoffs starting in about a month, the MVP race is as tight as ever. Could we perhaps see a back-to-back MVP in the Thunder's SGA, or Nikola Jokic possibly winning his 4th? Or maybe it could even be a first time for Luka Doncic or Victor Wembanyama. So let's take a look at that current ladder. As of March 23rd, the latter ranks SGA at number 1, Luka Doncic at number 2, Victor Wembanyama at number 3, and Nikola Jokic at number 4. SGA, one of the most prolific scorers in the league, is averaging 31.5 points per game, along with 4.5 rebounds and 6.6 assists. For the past few years, he's been one of the main reasons why the Thunder are competitive and are the defending NBA champs. Now take into consideration what MVP means, most valuable player, meaning if you took that player off of that team, they would not look the same. Many argue that Luka should win MVP based on the fact that his roster is worse than SGA's Thunder, Wemby's Spurs, or Jokic's Nuggets. MVP could also mean, to some, a complete all-around player. Recently, we've seen Jokic pile up the offensive stat sheet, winning multiple MVPs, but now we look at Wemby and SGA as two-way stars, making their case for MVP. Or, MVP could mean who contributes the most to a winning culture. Reigning NBA champs OKC Thunder are number 1 in the West, bolstering SGA's chances, while the Spurs and Lakers are 2 and number 3 for Victor Wembanyama and Luka Doncic. With each passing day, this race gets tighter and tighter, and we will leave it up to you to decide who the MVP should be. I'm Thomas Gabo with the Varsity Sports Show.
All right, great video there, Thomas. And spring training just wrapped up. Opening day just a couple days ago. Opening night, opening day was today. Kyle Westlake's gonna talk about that.
Major League Baseball is back for the 2026 season. It's been 144 days since the Dodgers capped off the 2025 season by winning their second straight World Series, and lots has changed across the league. Here are some key updates and moves from across the league over this past offseason. The Dodgers, who are looking to three-peat for the first time since 2000, when the Yankees accomplished this impressive feat, have only improved their lineup by adding Edwin Diaz from the Mets, who's arguably one of the best closers in all of baseball. The Dodgers also signed outfielder Kyle Tucker to a 4-year, $240 million contract. The Cubs took a hit by losing Kyle Tucker, but were able to land Alex Bregman on a 5-year deal, who they have been in pursuit of for the past couple of seasons. Another team in the NL that lost many key pieces is the Mets, who let Edwin Diaz go to the Dodgers and Pete Alonso to the Orioles. Despite this, the Mets have made big moves during the offseason by adding Bo Bichette to a 3-year, $126 million contract, starting pitcher Freddie Peralta via trade, Luis Roberts Jr. via trade, and other notable signings of Jorge Polanco and Devin Williams from the Yankees. The Mets, who failed to make the postseason last year with one of the highest payrolls in all of baseball, made a big splash in free agency this offseason. Like any offseason, hundreds of players found new homes on new clubs, but a few other key signings of starting pitcher Dylan Cease to the Blue Jays and starting pitcher Ranger Suarez to the Red Sox. With the MLB season underway, we will be seeing several big names in new jerseys this season. This is Kyle Westlake with the Varsity Sports Show.
All right, guys, welcome back to Friday Night Live, presented by the Varsity Sports Show. Great job tonight, Braden and Nick. I do have this question, though. Okay, so Braden, you're down in Tucson. Tommy Lloyd, he's got a heck of a run going. Is he going to stick around?
Well, I'm going to answer this how he answered it. I want to focus on this year first. I am getting a little nervous with all the talks. I'm going to say I'll be heartbroken, severely heartbroken if he leaves. So I honestly don't even want to think about it.
Okay.
That could be a possibility. Okay.
Nick Hill at ASU, in Tempe. There's some new life getting breathed into the program in the hire with St. Mary's Gales coach Randy Bennett, who happens to be a good friend of mine. What do you think that's going to do for the program?
Vince, I'm really hoping it can obviously project us into the forward by a lot. I mean, ASU, they've gone through a good head coach theoretically already, but everyone needs a change sometimes. So maybe it's just a change of scenery could really be beneficial on both parties, but hopefully he can get those guys in the roster going on with him.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, more to come. Nick, take it away.
Yeah, so next up we have Jalen Higgins from ASU. He's going to give us a quick recap from the Queen Creek versus Hiley baseball game. How you doing, Jalen?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good, man.
Yeah, so back on a Tuesday afternoon, Quinn Creek wasted no time taking control over Higley. The Bulldogs struck early in the bottom of the first inning when second baseman and future Arizona State commit senior Jordan Ransom launched a 2-run home run over the right field wall, immediately putting pressure on Higley and setting the tone for the rest of the game. So from there, Quinn Creek leaned on a dominant performance from their starting pitcher, senior Tyke Daniels. The right-hander, he was efficient, very overpowering, tossing a complete game shutout under 60 pitches, which is very impressive. I've never seen that before in any high school game. Daniels, he was consistently attacking the zone. He got ahead in counts and forced weak contact all afternoon, keeping Higley's offense off balance and unable to generate any real momentum in the game. And the score remained 2-0 until the fifth inning when Quinn Creek capitalized on Higley's defensive struggles, and an error by the third baseman allowed another run to score, which extended their lead to 3-0. And defense proved to be a major factor and issue for Higley. They committed 4 total errors, and 2 of them were by their shortstop, and it just disrupted them from any real chance of a comeback. And so Quinn Creek combined timely hitting, dominant pitching, and steady pressure to secure a clean and convincing win.
Yeah, so you were live at this game, right?
Yeah, I was doing a color commentary.
Yeah, obviously, like, what was like the kind of vibe you were getting from like that team? Like, were they all like you felt like really in sync?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Quinn Creek, they're led by their middle infielders. Both of them are ASU commits, and they have the team in check. You know, they're their leaders, and they're uniform. They have a great coaching structure over there as well, so they're very locked in.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you, Jalen. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate you. Thank you as always.
Appreciate it, man. We're going to go ahead and pass it on over back to Braden.
Thank you. A lot of sports we've been covering, and it's not quite football season in the traditional sense, but we've got spring football, indoor football, presented by yours truly.
It's the dawn of a new era in the old Pueblo. Tucson will no longer live in Phoenix's shadow, at least not in the realm of indoor football, according to owner Edmund Marquez. The Tucson Sugar Skulls have a new owner, a new coach, and new aspirations. Edmund Marquez bought the Sugar Skulls back in October with the goal of making the team by Tucson for Tucson. It all started with the promotion of head coach Rayshon Kaiser. Kaiser's keys to success: team bonding.
More team activities, more team bonding. I feel like we didn't do that the last couple of years, and we was pretty separated as a team. So just come together as a team, build that chemistry, build that camaraderie among the guys, and just, looking forward to grow a team, build a brotherhood here. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Marquez also says that the Tucson community has been key in creating a winning culture, a sentiment that the players share as well.
But as far as like the fans and everything, and the people that support the Tucson Sugar Skulls, everybody's been great. So, big ups to Tucson, shout out to Tucson, and also shout out to University of Arizona. They holding it down too, so it's cool.
The Sugar Skulls open the season on Sunday, March 29th against the defending champs, the Vegas Nighthawks, here in Tucson. For the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Braden Goetz.
Awesome. Yeah. So next up, we have Mario Mendia from ASU. He's got a pre-recorded for us on the NBA regular season and how it's nearing the playoffs.
All right. Last, certainly not least, Moyen Johnson from UNLV. And talk, can the Thunder repeat?
After Oklahoma City Thunder's first title win, they are now not just any regular team. They are a team that teams are chasing. But can they do it again? Fresh off a historic title run, the Oklahoma City Thunder quickly shift from underdogs to favorites, led by superstar guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Oklahoma City proved they have both talent and composure to win at the highest level. SGA's ability to control pace, score efficiently, and deliver in the clutch made him a centerpiece of the championship run, and he's still getting better. But it's not just a one-man show. The Thunder's young core, including rising stars like Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams, gives them the versatility on both ends of the floor. Their length, defense, and unselfish play create matchup problems for any opponent. Still competing as champions is one of the hardest things to do in sports. Teams across the league, from veteran contenders to rising super teams, are now building specifically to take down the Oklahoma City Thunder. The target on their back is real. Health will also play a major role. A deep playoff run demands durability, and even key injury could shift the balance. The Thunder have talent, depth, and chemistry, but in today's NBA, it's not just about that. It's about being healthy.
All right. And on that note, welcome back to Friday Night Live, presented by the Varsity Sports Show team. Vince DeLisio with Braden Goetz and Nick Hill. Guys, big weekend, Elite Eight action. Nick, I'm going to kick it off with you. Give me some surprises this weekend. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, Vince, we actually just had someone mention Iowa before, how they made it already this far to Elite Eight. I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised if they took down Illinois and just surprised everyone by moving on to the Final Four. Like, I don't think anyone's got them in their bracket going that far.
Wow. And Braden, of course, your hometown team there, the Arizona Wildcats, and Purdue upset in the making.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say upset in the making, or is Arizona going to run away with this one?
I've been here for so many heartbreaking upsets. I think this is our year. I say that every year, kind of like the Cowboys, but I think this is really the one.
Okay.
The other side of the bracket. I don't think Iowa gets it done. I think I don't really want to call them a Cinderella. They're a Big Ten program, they're a Power 4 program, but as much as a Cinderella as we're really going to get this year, I think clock strikes midnight for them.
Okay. Awesome. Great job tonight, guys. And tomorrow morning, everyone, tune into the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, where we are broadcasting remotely. Myself and my friend Nick Ratchke are going to be out at the Tour de Scottsdale bike race at Westworld in North Scottsdale. Tune in from 10 to 11. We'll have a whole slate of guests, including event organizer Stephen Rivera, tomorrow morning, 10 to 11 on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona and the 1060 app. On behalf of our amazing team, representing three universities, University of Arizona, Arizona State, and UNLV, and our co-host tonight from the University of Arizona, Braden Goetz, and from Arizona State University, Nicholas Hill. My name is Vince DeLisio, and our amazing production team and technical director, Marla Mundo. Thanks again for tuning in to Friday Night Live, presented by the Varsity Sports Show. Have a great night.
It's Friday Night Live with Vince, pregame, postgame show. Your destination for top high school previews and wrap-ups with Vince and his team. Buckle up and hang on for Friday Night Live.